Hi and welcome to another tutorial. In today's lesson we'll learn how to recreate this cool looking neon abstract energy text using Adobe After Effects. So anyways guys, let's jump in. So the first thing that we have here is we have to create a new composition, 1920 by 1080 pixels at around about 10 seconds. Once you've got that, then we need to go to Unsplash, find a picture that you like. I've just searched for abstract pictures. And then what we need to do is we need to upload it to Adobe Color to get our color schemes. So you want like a high range of colors here, and that's why Adobe Color is good because it does give you a little bit more options. So now that you've got your colors, the first thing that we need to do is we need to create a new background layer. So I'm just going to call this new solid BG, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the gradient ramp effect. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my colors from Adobe Color in here. So once you've put your colors in there, the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it into a radial ramp. Once I'm happy with that, the next thing that I need to do is I need to create another new solid, and I'm just going to call this one lines 1. And then what I need to do is I need to come over to my effects and presets and search for an effect called turbulent noise. Once I've got that, I need to change a few settings over here. I need to change the fractal type to strings. I need to invert it, and I'm going to bump up the contrast to about 2500. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower the complexity down a little bit to about 1. I'm going to come over here and open up the transform settings, and I'm just going to bump up the scale to about, I don't know, let's say maybe like 300-ish. So I'm just going to go to my evolution options, and I'm just going to bump up the random seed to about 100. And so now once I've done that, then you can see what's actually happening in here. So now we need to change some of these colors as well. So to change the colors, I'm going to use an effect called tint. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double click on that. Firstly, I'm going to swap the colors, and now I'm going to change that white to something that I've got from Adobe Color. So now I've just changed the color to that blue there. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a glow effect. So I'm just going to come over here, double click glow, add it to our layer, and I'm going to change a few things. I'm going to bring down the threshold to about, let's say 10%. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the glow radius to about 50. And then I'm going to change the intensity. I'm just going to drop that down to, let's say 0.6. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that I change the glow operation to screen, and I come over down here to my layers mode and I change it to screen as well. Now if you can't see that, all you have to do is change this, and then you should be able to see the mode. So once you're happy with that, then you can move on to the next set of lines. So what we are going to do is we're going to duplicate them, and so I'm just going to rename this. So that's going to be lines 2, and I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to change a few of these settings. So I'm going to bump up the contrast to, let's say 3500. All right, and then what I'm going to do is inside of transform, I'm just going to move some of this turbulent offset. So what I want is I want all of these lines to kind of overlap, because I think that gives it a really cool and unique look. So I'm just going to change the scale. I'm going to bring it back down to, let's say 250. And all you really want to do is just make sure that every time you duplicate these layers, you just want to change some of the settings so they look a little bit different. Once we've done that, then what we need to do is we need to come over here and change the color. So I'm just going to use Adobe Color again. So this time I've gone for a red color, and you can see how cool it looks there already. So once I've done that, then I need to come over here to my glow settings, and I'm just going to change them from what they are. So I'm just going to increase the threshold to about 80. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop down the glow radius to maybe like, let's say 30. And I'm going to bump up the intensity back up to 1. And so then what you have to make sure is you have to make sure that the glow operation is set to screen and the mode is set to screen as well. So now once you've got that, then what we need to do is we're going to create another new solid. And so this time I'm going to call it lines 3. And what I'm going to search for here is I'm going to search for an effect called fractal noise. And so I'm just going to double click it and I'm going to change a few settings up here. The first setting that I'm going to change is I'm going to change our fractal type to strings. I'm going to change the noise type to spline. I'm going to invert it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to complexity and I'm going to put it to about 1.5. And then I'm just going to change the brightness and the contrast. So the contrast I'm going to bump up to, let's say, 4000, and the brightness, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it into a negative value. So I'm probably going to go to about -70 or -80, something like that. Once I've got that, I can then change a few more things. For example, in transform, I can double the scale to about 200. And then what I can do is I need to come down to our evolution options, and I'm just going to click on this button, cycle evolution. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set our first animation. So I'm going to click on this stopwatch for the evolution, and then I'm going to move forward in time to the end, and then I'm just going to bump that up to 1. And so now if you've done that correctly, you will now see, if you scrub through, the animation is kind of moving. So now once I have that, then what I need to do is I need to add the colors back in. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add tint. And again, I'm just going to swap the colors, and I'm going to get the colors from Adobe Color. So now all I have to do is just change that color. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the glow effect back in. So I'm just going to double click on glow. And then this time I'm going to change a few things. So I'm going to change the threshold to, let's say, about 45. And then I'm going to change the radius to about 50. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the glow operation is set to screen, and the mode down here is also set to screen. So now you can see it with all of the other layers. So now only one layer is moving. So what we need to do is we need to create an animation that affects the entire document here. So what we need to do is we need to right click and go to new adjustment layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the effect turbulent displace. And so I'm just going to double click that and then bring it down. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bump up the amount to about 150. And I'm going to change the displacement to bulge smoother. And I'm going to change the size. You can bring the size up if you like. Maybe I'll change it to, let's say, 110. And so what we need to do is, once we've done that, we need to go to our evolution options. We're going to cycle the evolution, and then we're going to create another keyframe for the evolution at the first frame. And then I'm going to move to the end, and I'm just going to increase that to 1. And so now this will apply that turbulent displace to the entire composition. So now you can see that we've got that really cool kind of looking effect with the turbulent displace. So now the next thing that we need to do is we're just going to create a new adjustment layer. And what we're going to add is we're just going to change the colors up a little bit. So I'm just going to add some curves to this. So I'm just going to pick 2 points on either one of these sides. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab that middle bit, and then I'm just going to bring it up a little bit until it gets a little bit more neon. And so that's looking pretty cool. Once I've got that, then I want to add some more glow. So I'm going to add another new adjustment layer. And so this time I'm going to add glow again to the entire composition. And it's a bit too glowy at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the threshold to about 80. And I'm going to bring up the glow radius to, let's say, maybe 150. And now it's got like another glow effect on there. And that's looking pretty cool. But we will also add another turbulent displace to this entire composition. So I'm just going to run with a new adjustment layer, and then I'm going to put turbulent displace back in. So I'm just going to click on that. And now with turbulent displace, I'm going to change the displacement to turbulent smoother. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the amount. I'm going to bring it up to about 60, and I'm going to change the size. I'm going to lower that to about 60 as well. And so now if you scrub through that, you can see that now you've got these cool looking kind of effects that it looks like it's kind of bubbling and it's doing some crazy stuff in there. So now once I've got that, what I need to do is I need to highlight all the layers in here, and then I need to right click and go to pre-compose, and I'm going to call that lines. And so once we've got that, then what we need to do is we need to now import another background, and we also need to add some text to our screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new text layer, and I'm just going to call it neon. Now the font that I'm using Arzo Sans Italic Black. So I'm just going to make sure that I bring down the spacing between the letters a little bit smaller, but I still leave enough gap so I can use a drop shadow or another effect. Once I've done that, then what I need to do is I'm just going to align this to my to the center of my document. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that I'm on this mode, and if you don't see it, make sure you double click it. And I'm just going to change the track matte to alpha matte. And then what you can see is now you can see that the text is, or the energy is inside the text, and that's looking pretty cool. But the only problem is that we lose our background. So what we need to do is we need to create a new solid, and I'm just going to call this one BG, and I'm just going to drag it underneath my neon text. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my colors from Adobe Color, and I'm going to put in another gradient ramp. So I'm just going to come over here to my effects, and I'm just going to search for gradient ramp, and then I'm going to put my colors from Adobe Color. So now that I've got my colors in there, what I need to do is I'm going to go and change it back to a radial ramp. So now once we've done our colors for our background, the next thing that we are going to do is I'm just going to add a stroke to the text. So to do that, I just need to right click on our lines layer, go to layer styles, and then I'm just going to come down here to stroke. And then I'm going to open up the stroke settings, and I'm just going to increase the size to about 5. And then I'm just going to make sure that the outline is in white. So actually I'll probably increase that to maybe something like 8 or maybe 6. So you don't want the letters to actually touch. So I think that looks pretty good, and we'll just leave it at that. So the final thing that we have to do is I'm just going to pre-compose these two layers. So I'm going to right click and then go to pre-compose. I'm just going to call it final. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the effect called drop shadow, and I'm going to put it onto my layer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase the drop shadow a little bit, just so that you can see it. Now, if the color is a bit hard to see, you can change the color up to whatever you like, but I want to keep it a dark color, maybe something like that. So I'm just going to change the distance to about 20. And so once you're done with that, then the last thing that we need to do is I'm just going to create a new adjustment layer, and I'm just going to search for noise. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add noise to this, and I'm going to bump up the noise to about 10%. And so now that will give it that grainy kind of look. And I think that's looking pretty cool, but we can just do one final thing, which is a scale animation. So I'm going to press S for scale, and I'm going to set my playhead at the first keyframe. I'm going to press the stopwatch, and then I'm going to make sure that I go all the way to the end, and then I increase that to, let's say 110 is too much, so let's maybe go to 107. And so now if I preview that, you will see that it will have the scale effect as well. So anyways guys, that's about it. Thanks for watching this pretty short but long tutorial. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.